Hello all, and welcome to Burghy and the Bees. This episode, we are talking about our new segment with Butterfly Blaze, Tinder, dating in this day and age, and finally a love story that developed right here in Cardinal Country. This season of Burghy and the Bees is completely different from the rest. We are super excited to share our new segment, The Butterfly Effect. Danae, why don't you tell us a little about your time with Butterfly?
Yes, I actually know Butterfly very well, and she is the Title IX coordinator here at SUNY Plattsburgh. She is an amazing resource to have here on this campus. I had the opportunity of going out and speaking with her, so without further ado, the Butterfly Effect.
Nice.
When I think back about how I ended up in this role, it kind of happened by chance, but I think it's a really good fit.
Butterfly Blaze is the Title IX coordinator at SUNY Plattsburgh. She graduated from SUNY Plattsburgh with her undergrad and graduate degree. She started off as an advocate working for Planned Parenthood and working in gender violence. She is a resource for the college community and has a support system. Her office is located in Hawkins 151.
I moved here to create more of a trauma-informed space and a space for students to come where they might feel comfortable. Not that they didn't feel comfortable there, but in regards to having a waiting area and being really aware that it's a difficult thing to come and report to someone. So wanting it to be a location that many people would find.
Butterfly wants the community to know her office is a safe and inviting place for students to come to. Her office has a waiting area where there's coffee and a couch. She made the area to be welcoming and feel as free and like you are at home. She is there for any students to make a report, but more important, no one is discriminated against based on their gender.
Title IX coordinator is someone who makes sure that the campus is in compliance with federal mandates and state mandates in regards to sex discrimination. So sex discrimination by definition encompasses things such as gender violence. So sexual assault, sexual violence, stalking, dating violence, and domestic violence. So Title IX by definition says that no person on the basis of sex shall be discriminated against, denied, or excluded from any educational setting.
Title IX ensures that we are all treated equally and fairly. Butterfly herself is in charge of forming an investigation when there is a report. The victim has 180 days to decide if they want to press charges.
I'm not functioning as an advocate. I'm functioning in the capacity of needing to put all the pieces together to find out where things lie in regards to these investigations for judicial review.
Butterfly will keep a log of what is happening and open up the investigation. But when you first come to her office, no names need to be given until you are comfortable. Once she has all the information, she passes it on for review.
Part of the job as the coordinator is to track trends and look at things from not just an individual safety perspective, but from a campus safety perspective. And, up until we can't, fully respecting someone's autonomy and choice unless we can identify that there's a campus safety risk.
The campus as a whole has to work together. Butterfly's office is putting on events that will bring attention to their issues. While this is happening, Butterfly wants to make her office a safe zone and know that your feelings and opinions matter.
If someone comes to me, we're not going to make decisions that don't involve their choices.
Butterfly will listen to you and gather all the information for your investigation, but this does not have to happen if the person does not feel comfortable. If someone is not comfortable coming into her office, there is always the option to do it online. These are done anonymously. If you see anything happen and you want to report it, this is an easy way to do so.
And I think that's really important for people to understand. On the one side, from people making the choice not to harm other people, but on the other side, in regards to people realizing that these issues are really serious.
Butterfly went on to talk about how we should never sit back and not do anything. Even if the problem isn't happening to you, but you see it going on, she encourages everyone to come to her office. Just letting someone else know about the situation is just one step in the right direction. But there are other things you can do too. For example, you can make a safe zone for your friend or family member.
So a safe zone, I think, expands to those friends, to family, to the culture as a whole on this campus that we're really working hard to change. This office is just one part of the puzzle. University police is doing a lot in regards to getting trained in terms of trauma-informed responses. They're doing a lot in terms of creating conversations.
Simply talking about these issues in class and in other forums are a way of getting the message out that if something happens to you or someone you know, it is not okay. There's always someone who can help and who will help.
The main point I wanted them to leave with was in regards to looking at a community and looking at a safe zone. And that when we look at things happening on campus, some of the biggest people of change to create change are students who could step in situations where they think it's not their business or it might not be a priority for them.
If there is ever a situation that you feel you can step in and help, Butterfly urges that you do so. The bystander effect is real, and we have all fell victim to it. So, speak up, and let's fight this one voice at a time.
I had no idea there was someone on campus who provided all of this and more.
Oh yes, and the best part is we go into so much more detail this season. We're going to be talking about healthy versus unhealthy relationships, consent, and how you can help. Butterfly is huge on getting everyone involved. She honestly thinks that we can all do something and educate this campus through events and forums like this. If you have any questions for Butterfly, remember, her office is in Hawkins 151.
Well, I'm excited to see what else Butterfly has to say, but stay tuned because coming up, we're going to speak with our bachelor, Liam, to see how he's using a dating app to meet women.
Those sound like great programming.
Who are you talking to?
Alec from PSTV.
Who is this?
Alec from PSTV?
So what are you wearing, Alec from PSTV?
A PSTV crew shirt?
What kind of programming do you offer, Alec from PSTV?
We offer free and great quality programming run by students.
Sounds too good to be true.
What is going on in here, dude? Dude, you're not yourself and you're not watching PSTV. Better? Better.
Watch Cardinal basketball and Cardinal hockey only on PSTV.
Hello, Plattsburgh. Time to meet your bachelor, Liam. Liam here is using a dating app to meet women here on campus called Tinder. So Liam, let's find out what you're all about.
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. Welcome to my house. This is Liam. How you doing? I'm going to talk about myself today. You're going to learn a few things that you wanted to know and possibly didn't want to know. Art is anything that exists, really. Anything that can be crafted and created and made beautiful. And then you don't even know what beauty is, really. Beauty doesn't really matter. Beauty to me is what art is, and that's just something existing and appreciating it. People can be art. Artwork can be art. These clothes can be art. A day for Liam involves waking up, doing artwork all day. I'm a graphic design major, so I go to the studio at about 9 o'clock in the morning, stay there until about 5, and then around 8 I usually have Frisbee practice. I'm on the Ultimate Frisbee team. P-Funk, represent. We are the Plattsburgh Funk. A day in the life of Liam on the weekends is an entirely different story. I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and leave my house by 7:15, where I arrive at Whiteface Mountain at 8:30. And then for the rest of the day, I snowboard instruct and teach people how to have a great time on the snow. I think Tinder's a really cool social experiment that allows people to meet other people in a kind of unorthodox way. You already know that the person likes you, so you already have a basis of what you're going on. Interests are everything. My dream bio usually involves something terrible like I love puns, or it was the person's name, it was their occupation, they were a cat person, I'm single. Watch out, Plattsburgh. I'm coming for you.
Liam, you are one guy that the ladies of Plattsburgh have to look out for.
That's very true, Marissa. In fact, I'm very excited to start this journey and maybe even find true love along the way.
What are you planning on getting out of this?
I'm planning on finding myself through the people that I'm going to meet. I think that I'm going to have a lot of fun and a lot of learning. This experience is going to be something that will be marked for the ages, a story to tell.
As it should be. Have you ever used Tinder before?
I have used Tinder before. I actually met someone one time, not up here, but in Long Beach. I went surfing with them on the beach, and we walked down the beach holding hands until the sun set.
That's really beautiful. I met my boyfriend on Tinder, but we didn't do that. We just like hung out, listened to music in a dorm room.
Still a good time, I'm
yeah.
sure.
What is your dream girl?
My dream girl is someone that I can meet that will fulfill my dreams. Something that I've dreamed about is just meeting someone who knows so much more about me than anything and can teach me about something that I've never even fathomed. In fact, I'd like to meet someone that would show me how to express myself better in my art through what they can do.
So like a muse, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone who can teach me the ways of the universe through myself.
Any last thoughts?
My last thoughts are, get ready, Plattsburgh.
Well, tune in next time to see how Liam's dates go. But coming up, we have a couple who found love right here on the ice rink. You're going to hear all about it, all our favorite romantic movies, dream dates, and dating with social media. We also went around campus to see what you all thought about these topics too. Stay tuned.
When you don't watch PSTV, you get bored. When you get bored, you get ideas. When you get ideas, you start messing around with the roller chair. When you start messing around with the roller chair, you get your friends to join in. When you get your friends to join in, you do stupid things. And when you do stupid things, you lick linoleum. Don't lick linoleum. Watch PSTV.
What am I looking at here?
It's a spaceship.
From where?
From space.
All right, people, let's hit these guys with some PSTV. Did not work.
Probably because it's a TV station and not a laser.
There's no battery in the camera.
We'll fix it in post, man.
I think the shutter was closed.
Man, don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. Rob, how was that?
The CER didn't white balance it.
We'll fix it in post. How's the final product, Rob?
We didn't record any of it.
Hello and welcome back to Burghy and the Bees. As we all know, Cardinal hockey is one of our biggest sports here on campus. But can you believe this? We have two players who found love on the ice. Let's take a look.
Paul Fraziot and Elizabeth Viola, two hockey players that have a common bond. The power play couple have been close for almost a year now. And while they both call the ice arena their home, it's not where they actually met.
The hockey girls, we all sat in the front row of the class, and the hockey boys sat behind us. And one day I kind of turned around. It was kind of an inside joke between our team that he had long hair last year, and we used to call him Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights. And one time I turned and I was like, you know, you look like Tim Riggins, right? And he was like, huh.
And after that moment, the relationship only got stronger.
And then we started texting, and I think we became friends first, which was better. Kind of like bros, and then he couldn't stay away from me, and
That's not what it was, opposite.
like a year later, here we are.
And being on a team, you're close with your teammates, and they have some say in who you see.
She kept coming over to the house. She hung out with the boys. She was pretty good with them. She got along with all the guys pretty well. So I mean,
Yeah, vice versa.
out.
He got along with my friends really well, which was a huge thing for us because obviously being on teams, like especially two hockey teams, we always see each other. So it would have been pretty awkward if his team hated me and my team hated him.
When they first started thinking about what could be, it seemed like it was fate.
I always caught her staring at me. That was like another thing. She was always staring, and I was like, hey, this chick's got a problem with me all the time.
And because they were both friends first, they had no problems joking around with each other.
Pick something, she chirped me about
Okay,
it.
that goes both ways. Don't try to make it like I'm a bad guy.
You're the
here.
bad guy.
No, I think we both chirp each other and kind of make fun of each other, but that's what keeps us as friends.
Lizzie, a Buffalo native, and Paul being from LA, it made seeing each other pretty difficult, but they still managed.
He was at the airport a few times, and he was FaceTiming me while he was waiting to be picked up, or I was going to like a hockey tournament in Boston, and I'd just FaceTime him while I'm in the car, or while I'm waiting for my flight, or even like at night if I'm laying in bed, just give him a call.
After a summer of talking every day, they finally made it official. And when asked about romance, the answer's not what you might expect.
The romance mostly revolves around food.
Yeah, like little things, Tim Horton dates.
Yeah, Chipotle, I'll buy, she's having a bad day, I'll get her Chipotle.
But Lizzie was able to show she cared by a simple gesture for a big accomplishment of Paul's.
And then he, of course, it's a hat trick. So when I came back, I like made him a little card congratulating him on his hat trick, and yeah,
That's about it. I
surprised
mean,
him.
she's not the most romantic one. I'd like to say I'm the romantic one, but...
That's debatable.
But even through all the love, they still give each other a hard time. Paul likes to give her a hard time about hockey.
Well, technically, I haven't scored my first goal yet, and he likes to
I rub it
remind
in
me
her
of
face.
that.
I have to.
But Lizzie can give it right back.
I'll be sitting there in her room sometimes, and she'll be like, what's that big sparkly thing sitting on my desk? And well, obviously, it's her giant ring. It's like, sick, I don't have one of those. I got a watch. You know what I mean? Like, we got a Suniac Champion watch.
And a ring.
But all kidding aside, they support each other when they play. Paul is collected at her games, but it's a different story for Lizzie.
Whenever I go to his games and I'm watching him, it's pretty bad. Like, I can't really sit still.
She's critical of
My
me.
friends have to kind of calm me down during games.
And having her watch is not easy on Paul.
I try a little bit harder knowing that she's there and she's watching because I hate losing to her. That's like the biggest thing, because she'll rub it in my face and then she'll come over and then really rub it in my face in front of all the guys. Or and then all the guys will give it to me in the room. They'll be making fun of me like, oh, Lizzie beat you this, or Lizzie did this. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, guys.
And what started out as a joke at the beginning of the relationship still remains today.
His name's Tim Riggins, my phone. Like a little joke when I first talked to him.
While they both say it's too early to tell where the relationship will go from here, both agree whatever happens, it will be with clear eyes, a full heart, a combo that can't lose.
Man, that is some good loving. Truly, you can find love anywhere. Let's see where our cast thinks the best place to meet someone is.
Pretty much, I've tried everything. Meeting people through friends, family, meeting people random, like at the mall or the club or just any public place. Meeting someone via dating sites. I think it just depends on the person and where you are in life. And if y'all can get to a consensus and agree that you two are ready to have a relationship, then everything will be fine.
I'm a little biased towards Tinder because that's how my boyfriend and I met. I mean, we are in the same major, but that just sped up the process, and both of us were way too scared to talk to each other in person. I haven't dated much before that, but this is my longest relationship, and I don't see an end to it, so I say, hey, don't knock Tinder till you try it.
The best way to meet a significant other is first to meet an other, and then figure out what's significant about them. Expectations kill everything, so don't force it.
Here at PSTV, we're more than just a class.
We are far more than a student-run station.
We're some of the sharpest young minds in the industry.
We are producers,
directors, and editors.
We are creative.
And someday, when we leave for the real world,
we will bring our talents and skills with us.
We are much more than a college station. We are the future of television.
We are PSTV. Welcome to the new PSTV. At SUNY Plattsburgh, we have a proud past and a strong future. But here at PSTV, the future is now. With 8 original programs covering news, sports, and pop culture, we have something for everyone. So do you think you have what it takes to roll with us? Come find out.
Welcome back to Burghy and the Bees. I went out onto campus to see how you think social media has changed the way we date. So let's take a look. How do you feel social media affects dating?
Social media affects dating a lot. You have your whole idea of how your relationship wants to look posted, and you're seeing a whole bunch of memes about, oh, how you're supposed to treat you, buy you gifts and everything. So when you compare your relationship to what you see on social media.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
I think it screws everything up. It sucks.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
Well, you can't sense a tone of voice through a text message, so you don't know whether someone's being playful, or if they're being serious, or if they're being mean, or if they're being rude.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
I feel like it plays a huge role in dating, especially when it comes to that whole trust issue, because you never really know what another person's doing on social media.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
I think social media can affect dating in a negative way. Like, people get jealous easily. You see a comment, like your boyfriend commented on a picture, you get mad. You like the picture, they get mad, stuff like that.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
I think social media affects dating because it makes people in the relationship more insecure about their actual relationship.
How so?
It's always on. Sometimes relationships need a break, and when it's always on, you have influences of other people in your relationship by liking the photo, commenting a photo, or people messaging you about your photo.
How do you feel social media affects dating?
I think social media creates illusions in people's heads as to what a relationship should look like, simply because those who are in a relationship choose to post very nice pictures of their relationships and not necessarily the problems that they might be going through. So people compare what they see on social media to their own relationships, and they don't allow their own relationships to flourish in its own right.
I feel like it makes us harder to communicate with each other because we put up this huge barrier.
Social media has reinvented the dating game. Now you can know everything about someone before you even meet them. It's honestly made human interactions so bogged down and distracted that it's actually hard to be genuine sometimes, but I'm looking to break that.
It's definitely different than it used to be. I think, though, in my case, it made it easier for me to talk to people because I'm very awkward in person. And over social media, it made it easier for me to talk and be myself and say what I felt.
Social media makes me overthink everything, so I hate it. But what is your dream date? Mine is a lot, and I love it. Before I know anything, my partner has every single thing planned out. I wake up missing my partner, but to instead find a note and a gift bag. The bag has all my favorite snacks, Sudoku games, and a debit card. The note is handwritten, is an expression of love, and it gives me instructions for the day. The instructions have my hair appointment. I show up, and Lucy, my stylist, makes my hair look great and takes me with no hesitation. There's usually a long wait for her, but somehow my partner got her to focus on me. While I'm getting my hair done, I will play my Sudoku games and eat my snacks. I pay with the debit card that was in the bag. The instructions tell me to turn on my GPS, which takes me to some nice boutique, and I get a fancy dress that I also pay for with his debit card. And at this point, it's getting pretty late. I'm starving because my snacks have run out. I get home, and the instructions tell me to get all dolled up. I put on my makeup and my new dress, and I wait. My partner knocks on the door, and I open to find them with flowers, lilies, which are my favorite. My partner holds my hand, and I follow them to the car. The door is opened by them for me. There's a calm snack like celery on the seat because I'm really hungry at this point. We make it to the city before the sun is setting, and there's a helicopter ride around the city, so we watch the sunset. Everything is beautiful. The whole set is beautiful, and we end up landing somewhere where dinner is waiting.
My perfect date involves meeting someone who I'm interested in and who's interested in me, and in doing something fun, not trying to make anything romantic or adhere to standards of a typical date. I want to break the typical, deviate from the norm, make something happen that the world has never seen.
Honestly, again, this is going to sound so cheesy, but the most romantic date is every date with my boyfriend. Like, we could just be home watching Friends or out to a nice dinner, and it's still the best experience of my life. Also, I'm really not that hard to please.
So it's a movie called Love Jones, and it's from the 90s. I love it. It's about this guy who writes poetry at these like nightclubs. And when he's there one night, he sees Nia Long's character, I forget her name in the movie, and he approaches her, and she's just totally blowing him off. So he like writes a poem for her, she's still blowing him off. He shows up at her apartment, which is pretty much invasive and unhealthy, but it ended up good because they went on their first date, and it's just a really great love story, and it's a lot in there with poetry and just them falling in love. I like it a lot.
Okay, I'm not really a huge fan of sappy, dramatic movies, but this is so cheesy. But my favorite romantic movie scene is the dance scene of A Cinderella Story. I know it does not fit who I am, but ever since I was little, that has been a goal of mine, to dance like they do. But what goes hand in hand with the movies is the music.
The music that I want whilst on a date should reflect my date and I. If we want to cruise to the Gorillas, nothing should stop us. But if the mood takes us to something more romantic, we can always bump something like Run the Jewels or The Life of Pablo.
I have a newfound love for John Mayer. 90s R&B is pretty much where it's at. Casey and JoJo, Maxwell, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, En Vogue, Brandy. If you don't know what any of these are, just Google 90s R&B. I swear everything will change for you.
Okay, I love music. My favorite genre is definitely like punk and alternative music. The best bands though, in my opinion, that are like the most romantic are Brand New and Oasis. But my boyfriend and I have a couple of songs that mean a lot to us. Probably the most romantic would be 2YL by the Front Bottoms.